All right, let's dive right in. Today, we're cracking the code on a really unique path into the world of data science and AI. And this is a path that's been designed from the very beginning to be for everyone. I mean, everyone, no matter what your background is. So let's get into it. You know that feeling, right? You hear all these buzzwords: AI, machine learning, data analytics, and it can seriously feel like if you're not already on that high-speed train, you've completely missed it. Well, you're definitely not alone in feeling that way. But what if the whole thing was flipped on its head? What if all those barriers you're imagining, needing to be a coding genius or having an engineering degree, what if they weren't really barriers at all? That's the big idea we're going to unpack today. Okay, so first up, the great tech divide. Let's really look at the core of the problem here. There's this huge, gaping chasm between the booming tech industry and, well, all the people who feel like they're just stuck on the outside looking in. And this slide just lays it all out perfectly. On one side, you've got this incredible demand. I mean, companies in every single industry are crying out for people who can take data and turn it into smart decisions. But then, on the other side, you've got this massive wall of fear, this feeling that tech is just too complicated, that coding is some impossible language. So that's the chasm. The big question is, how do you cross it? Well, this is where a program like Nucot steps in. They're basically positioning themselves as a bridge, one built specifically to get everyone across that gap. And their whole mission, their entire philosophy, is built on this one word: accessibility. The goal isn't to go out and find people who are already technical wizards. No, the goal is to create a space where someone from a commerce background or even an arts background can build up the confidence and the skills to absolutely thrive in a data career. So how do they pull this off? Well, it all comes down to these 4 key pillars. First off, a beginner-first design, which means they assume you're starting from zero. Second, it's all practical, real-world stuff, using the tools that are actually relevant in the industry today. And finally, the whole thing is wrapped up in career-focused mentorship to see you all the way to the finish line. Okay, so we get the philosophy. Now let's get into the nitty-gritty. What's actually in the toolkit that they give you? How do you master the skills that really matter? The entire learning journey from start to finish is framed around answering this one single powerful question. It's not just about learning a bunch of tools. It's about understanding that whole transformation from messy, raw data into a clear, game-changing business strategy. It all starts right here with the foundation. Before a single line of code is ever written, you learn how to think like a data scientist. What's the difference between predictive and descriptive analytics? How do you look at a business problem and find the data question hiding inside? This makes sure everybody, no matter their background, is on the same page. Next up, they tackle the biggest fear head-on: programming. Python is taught from absolute total scratch. We're talking the most basic syntax, and then you build up step by step to using these incredibly powerful libraries that pros use every single day to clean, sort, and really explore real data. But look, data is totally useless if you can't tell anyone what it means. And that's where data visualization becomes your superpower. You learn to use amazing tools like Power BI and Tableau to turn boring spreadsheets into compelling stories, into interactive dashboards that a CEO can understand in like 5 seconds. And behind every great prediction, there's gotta be solid logic. Applied statistics provides that backbone. Now, this isn't some theoretical, boring math class. It's about learning the practical stuff, like regression and hypothesis testing, that lets you make decisions that are actually backed by data, not just a gut feeling. I love this slide because it just pulls back the curtain on machine learning. It takes these complex-sounding algorithms and makes them simple. Take k-means. All it does is group similar things together, for finding customer groups. A decision tree? It's just a series of if this, then that rules to predict something like a loan approval. It makes the complex feel totally manageable. And the learning doesn't just stop with today's tech. It pushes forward into the future. You get introduced to the fundamentals of AI, the logic that makes chatbots work, and even how to use the latest generative AI tools. The goal isn't just to teach you what's hot now, but to build a mindset of constant innovation. Okay, so we've covered what you learn, but just as important, maybe even more important, is how you learn it. This is where theory gets real. This is where it meets practice. So this is not a sit back and listen kind of deal. No way. You're getting your hands dirty with exercises and real-world case studies from day one. You're working with actual data sets from sales, from finance, from HR. You're not just learning concepts, you're building actual projects and entire machine learning pipelines yourself. And this quote, man, it just nails the whole vibe of that teaching style. The entire process is designed to take that initial fear of the unknown and systematically replace it with the clarity of knowing what you're doing, the confidence to tackle any problem, and the competence to get results. All right, learning is one thing, but the end goal is a new career, right? So let's talk about the final part of the journey, going from building a portfolio to cashing a paycheck. This is so critical. You don't just walk away with a certificate, you leave with a job-winning portfolio. You build real, tangible projects, like sales prediction models and HR dashboards, things you can actually show to an employer to prove you've got the skills to do the job. And you're not just left to figure out the job market on your own. There's a super clear 4-step support system. It starts with building a killer resume that speaks the right language. Then you do mock interviews with pros to get comfortable. Then you get guidance on how to navigate job sites. And finally, that placement assistance is there until you've landed the job. So that brings us to the final, and honestly, the most important question: who is this really for? Let's see if you can see yourself in this story. This path is designed for such a wide range of people. If you're a recent grad looking to start your career, it's for you. A commerce, arts, or science grad? Yep, for you too. A professional in a non-IT field who wants a change? Absolutely. Basically, it's for anyone who's curious about data and AI. And let me just say that last line again, because it's so important. No prior coding experience is required. And we're going to end on that statement. It's so simple, but it's such a powerful idea. With the right environment and the right support, that door to a career in data and AI is wide open for everyone. The only thing you need to bring is your own curiosity.